Hello! Welcome to another First Look book review with Julie, the book broad. I'm so excited for you to join me today. It's going to be a really fun conversation today, talking about something that a lot of folks aren't talking about right now, and that is Kobo. And I just read a really detailed book called Killing It on Kobo. And we're going to take some highlights from it and do a book review on that book today. So so it's going to be fun. And while we wait for a few people to join, I have some really exciting news that I will share. And if you're watching the replay, well, then you're definitely catching you're definitely catching the exciting news and tips right from the start. Hey, Jacqueline, welcome to the call. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to tell you, I am holding a copy of The Elephant in the Gym in my hot little hands. Very excited to have my copy of this book. And I think last live we talked about it coming out and some of the success already. And I just wanted to mention it again because we just found out that Gillian Gertzen, the author of The Elephant in the Gym, her book is going to be in a handful of stores. She's Canadian. It's going to be a handful of Chapters Indigo stores around her area, at least to begin with. And it's really exciting because a lot of people always talk about, well, I'm going to be self-published, so I won't get my book into bookstores. And I'm always saying you can get your book into bookstores. It may not be worth it for you to push to get it there because most of your sales are going to happen online, but it does feel really cool. It feels really cool to walk into a bookstore and see your book sitting on the shelf of a bookstore. And so her book is going to be on some bookstore shelves in and around her area. And I just wanted to kind of highlight how that can happen for you. Just to recap, I have this in some YouTube videos and we've talked about it before. But if you're new or you're just tuning in, I want to make sure that you know how it's possible. So first of all, your book has to be uploaded through some sort of a wholesaler that bookstores will buy from. And that means not KDP Print. They don't want to buy from Amazon. Amazon is pushing them out of business. Plus, they don't offer favorable pricing structure for bookstores to buy from. So we recommend Ingram Spark. So it has to be available through something like Ingram Spark. It has to be marked as returnable. And as I've talked about before, you want to have it be return and destroy. It can be very expensive if you do return to author. So I've talked about that before. But the biggest thing is, so those things just have to be in place. You have to have your own ISBN. It can't be an Amazon ISBN number that you were given for free. It has to be your own. But beyond that, you have to sell books to prove to the bookstores that you're going to have sell-through. It's very important to have sell-through and to show some sort of sales results. Or if you're actually pitching individual stores, you're going to have to show them that you have a plan that you're going to follow to sell through books, because they don't want to bring in the books and have it take up precious shelf space from books that would sell. So they're very careful about what they're going to bring in. So it's very exciting. I'm very pumped for Jillian, but I just wanted to share some tips for you so you know exactly how to get your book on bookstore shelves. Okay, so today I already kind of touched on, we're going to talk about Killing It with Kobo, a book review for you. We've got just a quick update on our service levels that are coming out. They're brand new. They came out officially November 1st, but they're now going live at the end of this week. And we've got prizes for YouTube commenters. So we've got the usual, boring books. And we've got names, lots of names inside of there that we'll be drawing from. And we also have participation prizes if folks are here and saying hello other than Jacqueline. Jacqueline is a Book Launchers team member, so she doesn't get a prize for participating. Although her participation is greatly appreciated, Jacqueline. All right. So I'll just dive into the Killing It on Kobo book review. And there's some really great tips in this book. And I'll just show you a picture of the cover here. There you go. That's Killing It with Kobo, or Killing It on Kobo, I should say. And I believe it's Mark Lefebvre is how you pronounce it. It's not really spelled Mark Lefebvre, but I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Okay. So first, what the heck is a Kobo? If that's what you're asking, I get it. It sounds kind of funny. So if you're just tuning in, make sure you say hello, because we do have participation prizes. And of course, I'm curious if you know what the heck a Kobo is. So I would love to hear what you think a Kobo is. And if you're Canadian, you're going, like, why is she asking that? But a lot of Americans aren't familiar with Kobo, because Kobo originated in Canada. Sorry, I'm rolling up my sleeves. It's warm in here for a change. I'm usually freezing in my office. So Kobo, hi, James. So you, James, you know Kobo, right? You're familiar with Kobo? Because a lot of Americans aren't as familiar with Kobo. So let me know what you guys think it is. Even if you're watching the replay on YouTube or on Facebook, go ahead and just type it in and tell me what you think Kobo is, and I'll answer it in a second. It does originate in Canada, but I also have bonus points, and this actually might even be a prize. I might say no participation prize today if anybody gets this right, and even on YouTube I'll watch and I'll see who's getting it right. We might do a draw. So where does the name Kobo come from? Let's see. Jacqueline, do you know? Do you already know the answer? I'm curious if you guys know. I'll take this opportunity while you guys are thinking about it. And yes, James, a Kobo is an ebook reader. And so I'll just take a moment to see if you guys know where the name Kobo comes from. So I'm just going to get some inspiration from my iced coffee. It says, make a life, not a living. So thank you for that. All right, so some of you folks are a little shy today. Maybe you don't want to get it wrong. I understand. Okay, so I will tell you in a little bit where the name Kobo comes from. So yes, it's an ebook reader. It originated in Canada. Chapters Indigo actually created it as their ebook reader. Later on, a Japanese company purchased Kobo. It actually kind of went through a couple ownerships, and now it's owned by, I think it's Rakuten or something, Kobo. But it is an ebook reader. It is designed as an ebook reader. So it's really, really nice. It wins a lot of awards for its quality. So Mark Lefebvre, who wrote Killing on Kobo, worked for Kobo for 5 or maybe even 6 or 7 years. I can't remember exact time frame. I think 2011 to 2018, he worked for Kobo. And then he wrote a book on it. So that's what we're talking about right now. Again, their e-reader, this Kobo e-reader has been, it's like the Amazon Kindle, exactly. Their e-reader has been highly rated for a long time, and a lot of people prefer it over Kindle. So if you've used both, a lot of people prefer it over Kindle. Now, why you as an author may want to know about Kobo and pay attention. And again, it originated in Canada, so Canadians are more familiar with it. Many more Canadians probably use it. I shouldn't say probably, I know many more Canadians use it. The stats prove that. But they've partnered with Walmart to get more US traction, which is really cool. And it opens up the door for you. And I think a lot of authors aren't paying enough attention. Thanks for the thumbs up. Whoever just gave you the thumbs up, it always makes you happy when you see things going across the across the screen. That's always so fun. And oh, James, did you look that up or did you know the answer? That's right. You got it right. So Kobo is an anagram of book. So B-O-O-K, K-O-B-O. So very cool. Good job. I think we'll give you a prize for that. Okay, so Walmart is why I think Americans really should pay attention. But if you want distribution outside of the US, you have international readers, I do think it's worth being on Kobo anyways. And I do have some stats, and they come from a report that Jacqueline will put a link in here to, Author Earnings February 2017 report. And it just talks about the breakdown of ebook sales between Apple Books, Kobo, Amazon. And in the US, not surprisingly, there is a tiny, tiny percentage of the pie is going to Kobo. But when you compare that in Canada, it's a substantial percentage of the pie. And this chart that I'm looking at actually doesn't have percentages, but it's roughly 14 million book sales, not quite. I'm just going to round these numbers down. 14 million are going to Kindle, 3 million to Apple Books, and 6 million to Kobo. So it's significant in Canada. Australia is not quite as high as Canada, but still a big percentage. And the UK is, they buy a lot of ebooks compared to Canada and Australia in the UK, but it's still a decent sliver of the pie, so it's worth paying attention to. But interestingly, Apple is more predominant in the UK compared to the other countries outside of the US. So that's why I think it's worth paying attention to. That was before, and the numbers are growing. Walmart, with the the partnership with Walmart, I think you're going to see more and more Kobo readers. Kobo Writing Life pays better than KDP Kindle does, and Mark actually does a really, really great job of breaking this out and explaining the split. So I'm not going to go through it. If you're one of those numbers people and you like to see, okay, where am I going to get the most money for selling my book? This is the book we're talking about, and he breaks it out in great detail, explaining different things like delivery costs and royalty splits and all that kind of stuff. So they do pay a little better than KDP. And again, if you want to break down, his book does a great job. This is something I didn't realize. Kobo's sister company is Overdrive. And Overdrive is how you get into your ebook into library systems. And so Overdrive distributes to those library systems, and it's a sister company, Rakuten. They own Kobo and Overdrive and a couple other companies as well. When you upload to Kobo, you can also choose to upload to Overdrive. So that's pretty cool. Now, this was something that my recent YouTube video talked about on booklaunchers.tv about interior layout. And he said if you're using any sort of free conversion tool to convert your book from Word to Kobo in this case, chances are it's not, well, actually, I think he flat out says it won't be accepted into Overdrive because Word has all these funky characters and they just don't convert. It's a interior designer's nightmare when they get a Word file, I'm told. And obviously it's these free conversion tools, worst nightmare as well. So he said if you use the free conversion tool, and it just won't get accepted into Overdrive. It might get accepted into Kobo, but it'll have funky characters in it. So it's not ideal. He's suggesting other resources, which he said if you really want to stick with free or low cost, you don't want to pay an interior designer, which when you see the work they do, I think it's well worth paying them. But if you do want to keep it low cost, on Mac, he recommends using Vellum, and on PC, he recommends a program called Calibre. Okay. James said that the Kobo is a great ebook reader, and yeah, I have never owned one, but I've looked at friends' ebook readers, and I love them too. They're light. The ink looks real. It doesn't tire your eyes out. It's very cool. Okay, number 4, the point that I think why Kobo is worth paying attention to, and some of the points that Mark made in the book, Kobo recommends and does their merchandising by a human. Oh my goodness! This is like Jacqueline said, I needed Jeopardy music earlier. I also need like, what? Music or sound effects, because Amazon is all done based on an algorithm. And theirs is humans are looking at it. Now, this is really important and something we have encountered and we keep trying to harp on a little bit, but you need to have your book set up 6 to 12 weeks in advance. And this is in pre-sale mode on Kobo. And if you do this, there's a couple of cool things that I did not realize. But number 1 is they have humans that choose new top sellers to spotlight. So they will give you free marketing for your book if you do pre-sales through them and you sell some copies so that it gets the merchandiser's attention. Also, this is the piece that I did not know. Every pre-order sale on Kobo has twice the juice, twice the ranking, I think is what he says. It counts twice when it comes to a ranking compared to a regular sale. He didn't explain why, but he did say that this allows you to climb in position and stand out a lot faster. So selling your book on pre-sale when it's in Kobo is really, really important. It has a lot of benefits. Just a couple notes. I also didn't realize their preview, on Amazon, they have the look inside. Their preview is only 5%. So if you're putting your book up on for pre-sale, say 12 weeks in advance, you have to have your cover done, but you don't necessarily have to have the interior perfect or even at all. You can put a placeholder file. But he made a really good recommendation. He said if you're putting placeholder files up there, you want to put a little note inside that basically says, "Dear reader, this is not the real book. So if you've gotten this book, you've gotten it by mistake," something like that, so that they know if there is some sort of technical glitch in the future. They've got a contact, you put your contact information in there, and he puts a really good sample email in the book. of what to put in your placeholder, so that if people do happen to get this accidental placeholder, they have recourse instead of just giving you a 1-star review on Amazon or Kobo, which you're trying to avoid. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much deeper into what he shared. This is an incredible resource. It's really a manual. It's not a book that I would say is a great read. It's not a bad read. It's just, it's a manual. It's step by step. Here's what to do. You're not going to sit down and just like, I'm going to kick back and read this, killing it on Kobo. Like, this is to use when you're going to upload your book to Kobo, and you're going to, go step by step, and you want somebody to walk you through it. But he also goes through pricing and categories in great detail. And he also mentioned something, and this is the other piece that I didn't know about pre-sale. When your book is on pre-sale, you can fill out a form that says, tell us about your new release. And when you do this, it goes to a human. Again, this is something that's very different about Kobo compared to Amazon. It goes to a human who reviews it and decides whether to feature your new release or not. So that's pretty cool. And he said that not that many authors actually fill this out. So he said it's not guaranteed that your book will be featured, but if you have decent sales and you fill out this form, a human is looking at it and making the decision. So that gives you a lot better chance than fighting that Amazon algorithm. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, you have to be in pre-sale at least 2 months in advance. So you guys have seen a theme here. A lot of people come to us and say, my book is done and I want to launch it in a month, or my book needs editing, but I want to launch it by Christmas, right? We're in the middle of November. And I'm like, yeah, you can. However, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities to set yourself up for greater success if you take your time. And I get it. You're excited, your book's done, you want to get it out there, and a lot of people attach themselves to a date. But if you do that, you rob yourself of some of these opportunities to go on pre-sale, to line up more reviews, to line up more podcast interviews and other opportunities. So, I really encourage you to give yourself, 6 to 12 weeks from the time your book is almost done to the time that you actually are launching, so that you can do some of these things like pre-sale. And this book laid it out so beautifully, so step by step. If you're looking to reach Canadians or other international audiences, or you want to take advantage of this Walmart Kobo partnership and have a chance to stand out and really dominate in an area that I don't think a lot of indie authors are really investing time, money, or energy into right now, I highly recommend you pick up this book and really start to invest in getting yourself on Kobo and standing out. Cool. Oh, hey, Trivial, welcome. Good to see you here. And we just did a review on killing it on Kobo. And now we have, let's go back, I think it's time for the YouTube prize. So for those of you watching on the replay, every Friday a new video comes out. And by the way, in 2019, I'm going to do 2 videos a week. So 2 of them a month will be these lives that we do together that I post as a replay, which I'll probably start going live. I'm hoping to simulcast it to Facebook and YouTube at the same time in 2019. But then 6 of the videos in a month, assuming that it's one of those months with normal 4 weeks, will be new video content for you. So really excited to share that. And so there'll be multiple opportunities to win prizes, which is really cool. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, prizes. That's what we were doing. I got distracted. It's the disadvantage of these Apple Watches. I get notifications on my Apple Watch, and it distracts me sometimes. So every Friday, when the videos come out, if you post a comment on the day a video is released, you'll be entered to win a prize. And we're out of journals now, and I'm just about to order the swag for 2019. So in the meantime, we have some more of these book launchers No Boring Books mugs, which have been very popular. Thank you to everyone who wins one and then posts on social media. Be sure to tag us or put it in your story on Instagram, and we'll repost and let people know you're drinking from a cool mug. You're part of the cool kids. Okay, so let me just switch this around. You guys can see I'm mixing it up. I'm not looking. I don't know who's in there. And let's see who today's winner is. Ta-da! Clint Buchanan. All right, Clint Buchanan, what you need to do to claim your fabulous Book Launchers mug is, there you go, Clint Buchanan, is you need to send us an email at team@booklaunchers.com and let us know your mailing address. And as long as you're in North America, we'll package up one of these beauties and send it to you. So thank you so much for commenting on the latest videos. I appreciate you and hope to see you around the YouTube community again real soon. So congratulations, Clint. Okay, so the other thing I thought we would touch on today, and I'm curious for those of you who are here, if you want to share, and if you're watching the replay, make sure you comment and let us know as well, resources. So I just put up a new page, and I'm still building it out, I'm still adding to it, but I put up a new page on the Book Launchers website with resources that we recommend to our clients and to anybody who is in the author business. And Jacqueline's going to go ahead and post that on the Book Launchers on the Facebook page, and then in the YouTube, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, so we've got some resources there, and there's a couple of things I'll mention that I think are really, really fantastic, and a couple that I haven't put up there yet. So one of the things that we do a lot with our clients is we get them to talk out their book, and then they get it transcribed. And I also use one of these services for transcribing all of my YouTube videos that I post as well. So to get these transcriptions, there's kind of two options. There's rev.com, and there's Temi, Temi.com. And so, hey, Dale, hey, that's really cool. It had pictures of Dale and his thumbs up all over the screen, so that was really fun. So I know Dale's in the house. Hey, that was great. So as I was saying, so transcription, rev.com, and Dale, this is your perfect timing, buddy, because I'm just asking for resources for authors that, you know, what's kind of your favorite resource that you'd love to recommend. And I was just saying that a lot of our authors, they speak out parts of their book, and then they get them transcribed, and then we'll edit them. So we use either rev.com or Temi.com. And the big difference is rev.com is people, there's humans who are actually doing the transcription. Temi.com is an AI. And I actually transcribed a call that I did for our clients, like a client-only marketing discussion that we had last week. I used Temi.com to transcribe it, and it was pretty solid. So, you know, and it was 10 cents a minute versus Rev is $1 a minute. So if you have longer content, Temi.com is probably a great place to go for transcription. For YouTube, I use Rev.com because it is a human. They get the nuances. They get kind of the lingo, the slang, whatever you want to call it. So it just depends on your needs, but I've been very happy with the results of Temi.com. Perhaps if you have an accent or if English isn't your first language, it may not work as well. I don't know, I haven't tested it, but that's a service that we just can't live without. Dale says, I literally just placed an order with Rev. Yeah, it goes direct as YouTubers. If you post to YouTube and you want to have the closed captioning, it feeds right back into your YouTube video. So it's really, really slick. Another service that I use, but I actually don't use it on my book, is Grammarly. And I know, Dale, you recommend Grammarly as well, or you've talked about Grammarly. I don't use it for book editing, but for me, in the pieces around the business, around sending emails, like if you have people who sign up for a newsletter and you write a newsletter email, I use it for that, to just catch my embarrassing typos and mistakes, you know, sentences that may be really way too long, those kind of things. Grammarly is really good for flagging that. That's not on that page, but I enjoy using Grammarly just as a second catch. We do use it on the books. Jacqueline, I think, uses it as a double check on some of the books in the background, but it's more of a resource. I wouldn't rely on it as the editor, is basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah, exactly. Dale says, I do it for a quick and dirty cleanup post first draft. Exactly. It's kind of a good way to look at it. Sorry, I gotta get my coffee in. All right, a couple other services. I highly recommend folks have an email newsletter, something I have many videos on. It's the #1 marketing tool for marketing your book, building your platform, growing your business outside of your book or from your book, all those reasons. And ConvertKit is really, really slick. And it was built by an author who saw a need in this space to create email marketing systems around your book. So it's really simple, really intuitive, really great program. And I actually just got an email from them saying they're gonna have a Cyber Monday sale. So you may wanna just watch out for the Cyber Monday sale. I'll post details somewhere. If not in a newsletter, I'll maybe post it on Facebook so that you know it's available. They're gonna have some deals for Cyber Monday, which is the Monday after Black Friday, is that right? It's an American thing, not a Canadian thing. So I'm still getting used to it, even though they probably celebrate Cyber Monday in Canada too. We practically celebrate Black Friday in Canada too. But yeah, ConvertKit, really, really cool. Our clients, so I know Trivial's here on the line, we're doing an internal kind of training on ConvertKit to help you guys get set up with it, but I think it's a great tool. Any other tools? Jacqueline, Dale, anybody else? James, if anybody has any other recommendations, any ideas for other tools, resources that you can't live without as an author? People always ask me about Scribner as a software tool to write in. And I have Scrivener, but I write in Word. I tried Scrivener. For me, it was just another software program that I had to learn in order to use it, and it slowed me down too much. I was like, I just want to write. And I write kind of messy, and I could see the benefits of Scrivener because you can kind of drag things into place. So you could write a section here and write another section here and write another section here. But it's a pain. And we can't, I shouldn't say can't, but our editors work in Word because there's track changes. It's much better flow through. So even if you've written your book in Scrivener, we're going to export it to Word anyway. It also drives me nuts that when you're in Scrivener, you can't get an accurate word count because it doesn't do like a full file word count. So there's a bunch of things about Scrivener that I don't like. People who have dove into it and really learned the software seem to love it. For me, I just want to write the book. I didn't want to learn another darn program. So I don't personally use it, so I don't personally recommend it, but that doesn't mean it might not be perfect for you. But I just wanted to address that because a lot of people ask me. Yes, if I have a simple ebook that needs formatting, Draft to Digital has a killer auto formatting feature for free. I like that tool, and they aren't paying me to say that. Great, Dale, that's really good to hear. Draft to Digital is a really cool company. I like what they're doing, and we've been talking about giving some of our clients the choice to go through Draft to Digital in some situations as well for distribution and things like that. Jacqueline says she uses Scribner for website content to keep track of content and research. And Chris Ball, hey Chris, welcome. And he said, I'm happy to hear that. I had some people insisting I had to use Scribner and I just hadn't embraced it. Yeah, well, I figured, so, you know, I run a book publishing company and this was the software for writers. So I figured I should know it. And I tried, I really did. But, you know, for me, it's whatever's going to work for you to get it done. And I didn't want to waste time on it. So for some people, it might be perfect, but yeah, I don't think you have to use it. And yes, so Jacqueline's just kind of reinforcing what I was saying. So if you are using Scribner, just know that it's going to go from Scribner to Word, and then from Word to InDesign, which is how the layout's going to be created, and it causes formatting issues. It's a bit of a nightmare for designers to handle all of the formatting issues that get created from those exporting issues. And it's also what will cause you problems if you're trying to use any of these free or templated layout programs, because those formatting issues that kind of get hard-coded in there, they get carried through, and the free conversion tools don't work that well to remove that formatting and fix it. So it can create a ton of surprises and not good ones. So just trying to make sure, if you want to build a course, which is something that I recommend a lot of our clients build from your book, you've already done the hard work to figure out, you know, what's your hook and what are the key elements. And now you've probably even built some steps. Now you can just add some resources, shoot a few videos around it, just kind of build out the content a little bit more to guide folks and turn it into a course. And now instead of just making, say, $6 on a book, now you can make, you know, $200 on a course or $600 on a course or whatever you're going to sell your course for. So something I highly recommend people do, depending on your business model already. And Thinkific is a really, really cool platform, and another Canadian company. I love these Canadian companies coming down to just kind of creating these great problems or great solutions for these problems. And so Thinkific is a great platform for building course content on as an author. You know, there's Teachable as well, very cool platform for building content, but I really like what Thinkific is doing. And we've got a couple, we've kind of partnered with them to work with our clients. And I think there's a couple of neat deals that they have given us to give to folks who want to sign up for Thinkific. So that'll be listed on our resource page too. And they have some free training on how to build a course, a really great course too. So that's another good resource, I think, as well. All right. And welcome to our new client. I'm not sure, Jacqueline just said we got a new client while we've been on the live, so welcome, new client. That's fantastic. All right, Vancouver-based Thinkific is great. And yeah, actually I have to thank you, Dale, because you introduced me to Rob. So Rob and I have had a great conversation, and I've been in contact with quite a few people at Thinkific now. So thank you, Dale. That was an in-person connection that you made that's allowed us to create some great opportunities for our clients. So thank you. All right, so I think that we are off to, so yeah, Jacqueline, did you put the link in the page on here for our resources page? Yeah, you did, there it is. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna pin that comment right now. So that's our resources page. I'm gonna be adding to it over the next couple of weeks. So if you guys have other resources you highly recommend that you want us to include or you think we should be investigating, let me know and I will. And I think that's going to be a wrap. We just need today's participation prize. And of course, because James, you got it right, I'll send you a mug too. So send me your mailing address and we'll get you a mug for getting the acronym of Kobo, where the book, sorry, where the name Kobo came from. There we go, I got it. Need more coffee, apparently. So yeah, we'll just get the participation prize. So thank you to everybody who joined us. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you say hello. And you never know, I might choose from the replay comments just another prize to celebrate. You know, we're getting close to a holiday season, which, by the way, our next live is going to be on, where's my date here? November 27th, I think was what it was. November 27th, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the final live of 2019, can you believe it? The final live of 2019 will be December 11th, 2 p.m., 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you mark your calendars for that because it's going to be holiday edition. It's going to be like Ellen, but for books. Yeah. It's going to be just like Ellen, except I probably won't dance because I'll still be seated in my chair in my office. But you guys can dance at home and we'll never know. But we're going to have lots and lots of prizes for the holiday edition. But next time we'll have a great, I think, a book review on the next one, and we'll be covering something cool. If you guys have suggestions on what you want us to talk about in the next live, let me know. And our winner today is Chris Ball. So Chris, thank you so much for tuning in and participating. Make sure you send us an email at team@booklaunchers.com with your mailing address, and we'll get you one of these fantastic No Boring Books Book Launchers mugs that you can then either give to somebody for Christmas, which you're not going to want to because they're so awesome, or you can take a picture of yourself drinking from it and tag us on Facebook. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. It was such a pleasure. Oh, and hold on here. Let's see. Oh, your husband's videos are funny. Love catching them. I know that's off topic. All right. Thanks, Dale. My husband has a new YouTube channel and there's slightly inappropriate videos he's shooting, but it's Giggle and Grin. You can kind of type in YouTube, a park bench parenting, Giggle and Grin, and you'll find his videos if you want to see what he's up to. But yeah, they're a little inappropriate, so not necessarily children's videos. Oh, and Chris is going to keep your mug. All right, awesome. Good to hear it, Chris. So send us your address. We'll get you a mug, and then I love it when you get your mug if you take a picture of yourself drinking from it, or showcasing it on your shelf, which some people do. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. All right, bye, everybody.